Welcome to Factorio Masterclass, and my name is Nilaus, and we are here on Volcanus. There's one more thing that we haven't done after we did all the science. Then actually, well, midway through, I realized there was something I should have done before, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a proper module factory, because we need, for this thing we just built, we need quite a lot of modules, and we don't really have those. So let's set up a factory for making modules, and also sort of slowly dive into the quality, because quality modules is the first place that you should dive into quality, in my humble opinion, sort of generally, because you really want quality modules, quality productivity modules, and quality modules. Quality modules are the best ones, and quality productivity modules are also amazing. So those are the ones that you want to focus on first in terms of adding quality to your game, and therefore we're going to be building this. But I wanted to get this sort of the consistency of the science done, so that now we have all the 7 sciences we can make on Volcans, all good and done. So we're going to need a space up here. And what is the objective with making this part? Well, the objective for us is to have a consistent build that just sort of chugging along and just makes modules, normal modules, because we're going to use majority normal modules, but also sort of gradually trying to get higher quality modules. I have chosen generally that I don't want to use uncommon quality and epic quality. I want to use as little as possible, because I kind of feel that it gets a little bit too complicated to manage 5 different qualities. So I feel that going up to rare quality or legendary quality are the ones that we want to do. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to start with quality modules, because quality modules are the most important. Well, they're the most fun, I guess. So we're going to be just making a very simple build here that we can replicate. Let's do that. And get you also down here so that they are nicely overlapping in the middle. And let's also make sure that we get in a position where we actually get a power line here. There we go. So that's getting this. So let's get lights and get another one, and these will be the next tier, and then we're gonna go into the next tier. Here, I'm gonna do it like this. This will be tier 3. Right. So what I have decided is that I don't want to make the level 1s or the level 2s in quality. I want to make them fast, but I want to make the level 3s in quality. Why do I do that? Well, because if I only make level 3s in quality, when I recycle them, the ratio will stay intact. That means the ratio of how much of each of these will remain intact. If I also make these into the tier 1s and tier 2s into quality, then I'm going to end up with an abundance of higher quality tier 1 modules, quality modules, and tier 2 quality modules that I don't really have a need for, because I can't match it up with the amount of blue circuits and red circuits, unless, and particularly quality superconductors, unless I have a separate build for those, and I don't. So that's my intention. So what I want to do is I want to make, let's actually get this one. How are you not on the storage here? That one is not very important. There, we are going to do this. So now the objective is to match that. I want 0.225, or sorry, that's just how much this is going to produce. I can't put speed modules in, because that's going to ruin the quality chance. So we have to match towards 0.6. That is not it. We need it 3 times as fast. So let's start by shoving a beacon in here. This one can be made into a beacon at 0.5. 0.6. Perfect. So now there's a nice ratio here. That is exactly right. And for that, I need 1.6 of the quality modules. All right. So let's see. You need more quality modules for sure. You're producing 1, and you're supposed to produce 0.6 more. So what about this? That's overproducing. So like that. Perfect. Or we could also see if this was possible to get another beacon over here. Maybe that, I think that kind of makes it, yeah, see, then it gets like a weird ratio, and ugh. So we're gonna stay with this, because I like good ratios. There we go. Nice. So now we know exactly what we want to get inbound. Also, these quantities are very low, so they're going to come in by a robot. Right, so this one, pretty simple, I guess. We're going to get a line in here. This line will be red and blue, because red and blue is used for all of them. So this one just needs to go all the way over. There. All the way to this location, yeah? And then I'm going to need to feed it in here. We don't have stack inserters yet, so that's not happening yet. And that should work fine. This will be reds coming in, and this will be blue coming in. And then I just need a stack inserter here, or not a stack, a requester. I'm going to request a stack of that, and I'm requesting a same amount. Let's say same amount of that. So let's see how that works. So this just needs to get inbound, and it doesn't need to get inbound very quickly, but it also needs to go outbound. So where do we want this to go outbound? Oh, they, of course, like this, they just go straight in. And then the question is this fast enough? I think it is. And we don't have the other parts, so that means we need to get then here. These are the only ones that need green. So if I just put that in here, then I can request the greens like that. So let's request the greens like this. Yep. Then that's happy, and that should be fine. We don't put it out anywhere except put it into the next one. Great. So the next one, we now need this out on a belt here, but these also need another item. So that other item can come in here. I can just get another one here, and that will be the blue sticks. There. So I'm going to get blue sticks out here. Is blue sticks coming up? When we request blue sticks, there we go. Blue sticks come in. Then that goes down on the lower side of this belt. Right? Yes. Okay, so you're going to pick this one up, and you're going to pick this up. Then as the output, you can output here. And you have to output like that, because it has to go on the top side of the belt. Right. And I couldn't shift it over here because then it would bump into the underground belts. Alright. So the next one, this is basically going to be exactly the same. But we have to figure out how... one, two... Oh, these ones, they just need to put out on a box, I guess, right? Yeah, they just put out in a box, so I just do this one. And then that will be perfect. Okay, so you're getting inbound, and you're getting inbound, right? And we'll match it on the other side here. Then they need the inbounds for here. Good. So that's all the inbounds for this one. And this one is a little bit. There. It's actually not even going to that tile. Right. So these are working. Now they need to output. But they could output both as normal quality and as higher quality. So let's make that here. There'll be two different outputs. One that is only the normal quality, and the other one that is equal to or higher than rare quality. Okay, and they will need to be put into boxes. There. Like that. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing for copy, paste, and then these two go in here. Alright, and that goes in here and in here. So that gets the normal quality and the higher quality. Sweet. Now, I want to control how much this is working. I could sort of say, hey, this is 500, but then it'll be 500 plus 500, 500 plus one of them gets gets picked up, and that will be whichever one is closest to the factory, and then only one will start, even though it's missing more than whatever. It needs to be on logistics, but I want to make this sort of I want to make it easy. So the way I want to do this is, I think I want to just make a box here. And that box is, let's see if I have one that says quality modules, or that's a bit, yeah, perfect. There we go. I had one that says quality modules, and that says I want 500 of each normal quality. I don't put a limit on other qualities. Then I want to have one of these, and that was up here. That one, and that is going to, that's actually not it. I want to subtract it. Still also there. So what I want to do is I want to get this is just going to take whatever inbound it gets and multiply it by -1. There. Is that what I want? I think so. Yes. And then gets out of this one. Alright. So I am going to say you're coming in, and that one, and you're monitoring. Read the network content. Okay, so whatever comes in, definitely not you. Then that goes out and in here. Whew. Okay, so what we see now is the top part, the 500, those are the positive ones. We can also see that since we've already produced some quality modules, that has been reduced. So what I need to do is I need to say, I need to get this here, 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 into this, into this, into this. And also on the other side, here, here, into this, into this, into this. Great. Does that look silly not going? Nah, that's fine. This will now be enabled when quality modules are greater than 0. There. This is now controlling it. That means this one will control everything we want, and that should be fine. Yeah. Okay. I could even make it... Nah, I could... Well, I could kind of make it a little bit different by also enforcing that it puts it into a radar, such as this. Okay, now, this is really unfortunate because I now need to take this out, because it looks awful. There. And you are here. Good. And then I'm going to take this signal and put it back out. Yeah. Because that means if I want to have another place, then I can just get it in from the signal here, what I want to build, instead of getting it somewhere else. But it is kind of flooding the signal here, which is kind of sad. There. Yeah. Okay. But they're still working. They are saying 500 because I just deleted the ones I already have, and that should be fine. Now, moving on to say this will also generate a number of these quality modules that I don't really want. So I need to have a way to clean those up or to delete them. And of course we'll do that. Here, here, and here. And now, what if we make this and one higher quality? This one will then be... These are not going to produce very much, particularly not when the quality levels of this one is only 12.5. So it's definitely not going to be busy. So this one could be correct, yeah, and that would have to get some quality. This is actually the one that has the most quality. These should also get quality modules because I want to upcycle them to quality. I can only upcycle this one after we've unlocked legendary, but let's keep it here for now, just for consistency's sake. Then I'm going to take these outbound, and then this one will take only the only this quality, and this one take only that quality, and you will take only this quality. I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should also have one that says only legendary quality, but I don't know. Well, I could have one up here that says only legendary, just to make it consistent. Yes. Okay, so that would be in this, because then just whatever. If we get legendary, we don't have it yet, but I want to make it robust so that it works later on. Get the requester here, and they will just go in, right? And they will then request stuff for these. I will also get a normal requester. No, I will just get this and output. You're just gonna get out. You're gonna get out. All of it goes in here. And likewise, this one, all of it goes in here. I'm not making one for legendary because, well, yeah, that. When we start to make direct legendaries, it's a different concept. So I'm not gonna do it this way. I am not constraining any of these in terms of how many I want, but it's gonna be that. So what I need to do is I need to set this one up, basically do this part, and yeah, just 100 of each. Might be a little bit much, but whatever. And that one goes in here, and then each of these just a little bit higher quality. That's the easier way to do this, and they upgrade the quality. We don't even have epic quality. Just realized we don't have epic quality until we get after Kleber, but that's fine. We'll prepare it. This is all about preparation for future. So there you go. I don't need this one. This does nothing. Then I could. This might be a little bit controversial, so I'm gonna leave it as that. I want to do this one. Oops. This one. Oh no. Don't do that. There. I don't like these modules generally, but I think in the beginning I would actually start by keeping them around. But longer term I want to move it out, because the first thing that happens is, hey, we're going to get these. We're going to be taking all of this and figuring out what is the most important one to upgrade. And then we'll simply just start upgrading these so that there's a higher chance of getting higher quality modules here. So I upgrade these ones first, then I upgrade that one. That might actually be... no, this is going to be less valuable. And then so on and so forth. And then we just upcycle scale all of these up with all the quality modules we have. So here we have some. We just put them in there. And I mean, because these are the ones that run faster because they're first on the line. So everything. And then we basically just have this one. This is just going to continue to chug along. I don't want these to be here right now. There. Don't want those because now I'm going to copy it. So here's the thing. How many of these builds do we have room for in our build, in our city block? 3. You might think that's bad because there are 4 types of modules. It's actually super amazing good because there are some you need a lot of, some you don't need a lot of. Right now, at this point, since we haven't been to Kleber, we don't have Mark 3 efficiency modules and productivity modules. So we're not going to make those in this setup here. We can make them in a separate setup, but for now, I want to show something else. So, quality modules is by far the one that we need the most of. At least that's my experience in the beginning. Then we'll take one of these and make them into speed modules. The ratios are the same, so it's just a matter of changing all of this. There, this one should be speed modules here. And this one should be speed module and rare quality, and this should be speed module epic quality. And then of course the things here are going to be different. This one will be here instead. That might be a little bit much, but whatever. And this one will also be different. And then of course, since we got the wrong thing on the belt, we're going to be deleting stuff here and putting it back in. That works fine. Then what do we not have? This icon here is also incorrect, so that gets changed. And then it's not connected, so we make sure that we connected this one to this and this one to this. So that is basically the module. This is 1, 2 from the bottom, and it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's not okay. Really? Okay, well that sucks. And that will be here then. I'll also give it one more breathing room place. So there we go. That's the module we want. And then once we've been to, we've gone to Aquilo. No, not to Aquilo, to Kleber, which we haven't yet. But I want to prepare this a little bit. Then we're gonna build this again, but we're not gonna build it on on Volcanus. We're gonna build it so on Novice. I'm gonna build it here because this is where I am right now. But this will be built on Volcanus, and then we switch these over, and that as well. See, we don't have those yet, and this will be here, and this will be that one, and right. So, and then we have to change this to Vitor X, which is gonna be a bad time basically, because once we change it to Vitor X, that means that we also have to put some lasers around this. Luckily, with the space we have available, we do have decent room to put lasers all the way. Yeah, we could put them down here, but then they're not really connected. We definitely need to put lasers in this around this build, for sure. If I was pulling this one back, I'm thinking maybe that's actually better to pull this one back so that I get, yeah, like this. Okay, let me just try that and then prepare it, so, because then I still have the whole area covered with the power poles. Yeah, let's do that. So this is what it looks like now. I've made a few changes, of course, fixed all the mistakes, I hope. So basically, let's walk through it. This one is here. What I've made a little change here is I've now lowered these by a factor 10 because I don't want them to request a full stack, because that means there could be 100 advanced circuits uncommon quality here, but none in the other one, in this one or this one or this one or this one. So this is not advantageous. So I wanted to have lower amounts because we're going to be basically not having a lot of them, and then they'll just sort of cycle through. This one here, this won't work at all unless we actually recycle something, and this is why I have this set up here, where I'm basically saying I don't want these uncommon quality ones. I might want it for the uncommon quality modules. Damn, that's complicated. But I certainly don't want this for the other things. Here, this one will definitely not need any kind of uncommon quality here. And oh, that's funny, because that's not actually where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go down there. And this one will go here. And then they also need to exist over on the other side, because I absolutely don't want any of this. I should also say that it's highly unlikely that you want to spend your precious resources on quality efficiency modules at the early game. This is something that's only a convenience and very rarely needed. You might also want to save these uncommon quality productivity modules. I don't, that's just kind of, I'm skipping this, but this is very easy to adapt if you're using these blueprints that are of course available to Patreon supporters. Then if you're using these, then just remove this one if you don't want to recycle it. If you also want to recycle uncommon ones or rare ones, you just add them up here, and then it sort of out-balances. I've not set any limit on these. I could, but I have chosen not to, because you know what, you just want as many as you can. And every time I've set a limit of 500, then I come back and there's a stack of 500. I always regretted that I didn't set it to 1000, because I just, in the early to mid to late game, you just want this all the time. I am currently in my base setting this up to 3000 of each of the productivity modules and speed modules, and sometimes I run out. Yeah, that's how it is. So this is how I would recommend you to do it. Just setting it up to a high amount and just keeping it running. So of course you need a steady production of modules for this as well, which we already have a blueprint for from previous episodes. Right, so this one is chugging along. This one goes up here, and there's of course a little bit of this that goes in. This also gives us an opportunity for us to actually get additional of these, and we once in a while actually make one of these, and they're going to be awfully slow, but ultimately it doesn't matter. This one's not going to be constrained, so this will make it, and maybe it'll make a higher quality one, a rare quality one, or maybe it'll make an uncommon one. Either way, it's totally worth it. And if it makes an uncommon one, it just recycles again, and then it gets onwards to another round, because I don't want these uncommon ones. Same with this. In the beginning, I remember that when I started making quality, I really didn't care for quality modules when it came to speed or efficiency. it only mattered this one. So of course that's something you need to decide for yourself. Do you want quality speed modules? They can be super handy, but from my perspective, they're nice, but they're just not as nice as quality modules or quality productivity modules. So that's where I focus all of my quality modules. Man, that's convoluted. But there you have it. This one should be built on Nilaus, because if you build it on Volcanos here, then of course it's not going to work, and it'll also count as double because you have it twice. But you could also just do something like this, then it wouldn't count it double. There we go. That's why I have this module in. They'll still work, and then they'll count up to 500, and this will count up to 500, not up to 1000. So this is why you use the radars to sort of transfer this signal over here if you want to have it, or if you want to have multiple of these next to each other or somewhere else, then you have one of them as the master with this the control here, and the other ones will just get it in by radar. Yeah, so that's it. And of course, if you want the beginning, you can just leave it like this and then just put them into a box before you go to Clever, and then when you get to Clever, you build this thing here on Nilaus. So that's what I would recommend doing. Cool. So that's basically how to get started on the quality module stuff, which also is the enabler for other quality stuff. So with this one running all the time, every time, then you will eventually get enough of the modules you need. I'm building up a large reserve for quality modules, particularly because when you build quality builds, you can't use speed modules, so you're going to need a lot of machines with quality in it. Thank you very much for watching this little cool guide for 2 simple city blocks that will get you going on making modules, and you can just keep stamping down and get more of those. So we'll dive more into quality a little bit later, but first I want to unlock Clever, which will be the next objective. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.